Time. It's game time. Tonight, listen as your Columbia City Eagles take to the court.
Justin Daly filling in for the legendary Andrew Thompson alongside my partner Brandon Marshall, and we are locked in and ready to go here in Middlebury, Indiana at Northridge Middle School as the 15-6 Columbia City Eagles take on the 16-4 Northridge Raiders as we have starting lineups underway for both teams. Should be a great matchup here tonight, huh, Brandon?
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup. The Raiders are a well-coached basketball team. Junior heavy, they have no seniors, they shoot the ball well, they have three players shooting over 35% from the three-point line, and you got your he's listed at 6'6", big down low. I look for them to come out in a 1-3-1, and lately we've kind of struggled against those zones, so I'm sure Coach House has been prepping these guys ready for that 1-3-1, and it's going to be a barn burner tonight. It'll be a game of runs, and can we keep them off the glass, and can we win the rebounding game and stick to our assignments? But definitely a well-coached, really good basketball team.
Yep, definitely should be a fun one to watch tonight and listen to. Columbia City is going with their usual starting five with Fuller, Kaufman, Denning, Mulligan, and Hartman, as we are getting the Northridge starting lineup as we speak. So we are almost ready for basketball here in Northridge as starting lineups have almost concluded. They just announced Scott Radiker with his 100th win here at Northridge. As we've been told, one of their leading scorers, Cam Radiker, another player we mentioned to watch tonight as well.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on Scholl as well.
Definitely.
He's just a big body. He's a true post kid. We'll see who we put on him.
Yep, definitely. Columbia City has been very hot as of late, winning 9 in a row. Is that correct?
Yeah, 8 or 9.
8 or 9. So definitely two well-coached teams, talented teams, going toe-to-toe tonight. As we are almost ready for tip here, as the band is playing, and we are ready for tip. Northridge wins it, and we are ready for basketball. Hayden Johnson controls the ball, throws it over to Radiker. Radiker dribbles near the top of the key, passes over to Bales. Bales throws it up, misses. Fuller with the rebound. Fuller controls the ball at midcourt.
There's that 1-3-1.
1-3-1, they're in it. Hartman over to Mulligan at top of the key. Over to Denning, over to Kaufman. Fuller comes up, back to Mulligan. Mulligan dribble drive, and Hartman kicks back to Mulligan, back to Hartman. Hartman looks to shoot, then drives, goes up, barely misses. Kaufman throws it back up, misses, and Northridge with the rebound. Radiker heaves it over to the corner. 24, Johnson handles the ball, looks to drive, is stuffed by Mulligan. Back over to Radiker. Throws it way over to the other corner, barely catches it. Stifling defense here from the Eagles. Radiker over to Springer. Radiker shoots up a three, and it's good. 3-0 Northridge. Denning controls the ball, hands off to Fuller. Kicks it out to Hartman. Hartman drives, back out to Denning at the top of the key. Denning over to Kaufman in the corner. Kaufman feeds it to the paint to Fuller. Fuller goes up, barely misses. Northridge controls the ball. And we have a three from Bales. Pull up, and it's good.
There we go. We got to run those shooters off the line.
That's right. 6-0 Northridge. 2 threes. Kaufman passes over to Denning. Denning to Mulligan. Mulligan looks to pass over to Fuller. Into the corner to Denning. Denning drives and throws up a shot. Just rims out. Not forgiving. Goes all the way around, rims out as Northridge throws it down to the corner, all the way to Springer. And we have Scholl drives and blocked by the Eagles as Mulligan controls the ball. Fuller spins, kicks back out to Mulligan in the corner. Mulligan looks to drive, back to Fuller as Denning controls it beyond the three-point line. Hartman over to Denning. Denning feeds it into Mulligan, and we turn it over. Northridge ball. Johnson being stifled on defense by Kaufman, defensive specialist. Throws it over to Radiker. And the Northridge Raiders turn it over as we try to move in transition, and Kaufman throws it away, intended for Denning, as the Eagles yet again turn it over. Northridge takes it out on the close sideline. Radiker, the point guard, controls the ball. As it's still 6-0, 4:54 left in the first quarter. Radiker feeds it over to Bales. Bales to Springer. And the ball stays with Northridge as Scholl drives, and it's tipped out of bounds by the Eagles. Northridge ball. And they throw it into Scholl. Back over to Johnson and Radiker at the top of the key. And a three is good from Mason Bales. He is been hot to start this game as it's 9-0.
Red hot, all threes.
Yes, that's all we've had. Hartman in the paint, kicks it back out to Kaufman. Kaufman drives, spins, and a travel.
Whoa.
Looked like they were going to call a foul there, but instead of travel from the official. As nothing seems to be going right for the Eagles so far, as we have Owen Marshall checking into the game for the Eagles for Kaufman. Sixth man off the bench. He comes in about this time. And Radiker controls the ball once again, throws it over to Johnson. And Johnson looks to drive, passes over to Scholl, and Scholl lays it in. 11-0 as we have a timeout from Coach Schaus and the Eagles at 4:07 in the first. Looks like a 30-second as he tries to rally the troops here and stop the bleeding. We will throw it over to our underwriters here for our first time out of the game. WCCS sponsors February 29th. It's Kindergarten Roundup with Whitley County Consolidated Schools. Kindergarten Roundup welcomes parents February 29th for children 5 years old. Come meet the principal, teachers, and staff. Get a hold of WCCS to schedule your Roundup time. Tonight's broadcast is also sponsored by First Fleet. First Fleet operates dedicated trucking operations in Bluffton, Fort Wayne, Butler, and Three Rivers, Michigan. First Fleet hires industry-leading CDLA drivers for dedicated home nightly positions. First Fleet is proud to support the Eagles in Columbia City High School. First Fleet can be found at www.firstfleetinc.com. As the Eagles are ready to inbound the ball as Denning passes in to Stratton Fuller, and we're back. Stratton throws over to Hartman at the wing. Hartman slides to his left to feed it to Mulligan. Mulligan over to Marshall. Marshall spins and throws it up towards the basket. Just rims out as Northridge controls the ball. We have Springer passing it back to Radiker at the top of the key. Scholl controls the ball, hands off to Radiker, drives, and is fouled on the floor.
Brady
Hartman commits the foul. His first, team first. We have not had very many fouls. That might be, that's our first one of the game as Northridge inbounds the ball. You got to watch him in the corner there as they turn it over. Johnson tries to throw it to Springer near the basket, and it slips out of his hands. Goes out of bounds. See if the Eagles can get on the board here.
Yeah, we need a bucket here.
Yes, in the worst way. We just had Landon Richmond check in. Stratton drives towards the bucket. Kicks it back out to Marshall. Marshall over to Mulligan on the far side, and a foul on Bales. Mason Bales, it looks like, commits the first Raider foul of the evening. Correction, 24 Hayden Johnson on the foul. As Fuller inbounds the ball to Denning. Near the top of the key, hands off to Marshall. Marshall pulls up 15-footer at the free throw line short. And there's a scrum for the ball as Northridge possesses it. And a corner three misses from Johnson. The first missed three of the day, it seems like. As they're feeding Johnson again, trying to get him the ball. Radiker throws it up to Scholl. Scholl tries to lay it in, is blocked by Landon Richmond. Denied at the rim. Richmond throws over to Denning. Denning to Mulligan, blocked at the rim as well. In transition, Bales drives.
Block.
And a block on the Eagles. That is going to be on Stratton Fuller. Tries to take a charge there. And we have Mason Bales in line, shooting two. First is no good. Plethora of Raiders checking in as the Eagles check in Brady Hartman. It looks like the Raiders are checking in number 12, James Cranston, and number 11, getting Campbell. Second free throw. Campbell. And the second is good as it's 12-0 Raiders. 2:39 left to play in the first. Fuller controls the ball at midcourt, throws it over to Hartman at the wing. Hartman drives to his left side, goes up, and it's good. Eagles on the board as Northridge tries to answer, moving quick. Radiker near the right wing. Over to Cranston, to Campbell, back to Campbell in the corner, and they're going to throw it up to the big guy, Scholl, and Scholl lays it in the paint. 14-2. We're going to have to stop him. Fuller over to Richmond in the corner. Fuller on the wing, back to Richmond. Richmond looks to Marshall. Nothing there, then gets the pass through. Marshall kicks it over to the other side to Hartman. Hartman up with a three. No good. Northridge with the rebound. Northridge likes to run as Bales throws it over to Campbell. Campbell looks to drive near the stripe and feeds Scholl in the paint. Scholl goes up. It's good. Definitely a height mismatch.
It is. I mean, he's just a big body down there. We got to figure out a way to push him high.
We're going to have to as it's 16-2. As Fuller drives from the elbow. Marshall controls the ball at the opposite elbow, hands it off to Mulligan. Mulligan slips out of his hands, regains possession. Back to Marshall on the wing, into the short corner to Richmond. Up goes Fuller, and a foul.
Well, I tell you what, we can't buy a bucket. I mean, we've had good looks, and they are just in and out.
Right. They didn't call a foul there. My fault.
They did not call a foul?
Oh, maybe they did.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, they did.
Yeah,
you're right. They did. My bad. They did call a foul.
Fuller's second.
Fuller's second. Yep, correct. It was a loose ball. They both went up for it. They call Fuller for his second.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah, we definitely do not want to see him going to the bench early. But Fuller checks out as it looks like someone came back in. Denning came back in. Good call.
Good.
And we have Bales throws up a three and gets stuck.
Jump ball, Columbia City ball.
Jump ball, yep. Gets stuck on the rim, and Columbia City is going to get the ball. Something goes our way there as Marshall is going to run the one. Takes it up. Hartman sets a screen. Marshall goes around his right side. Hands off to Denning. Denning over to Marshall in the corner. Feeds Mulligan in the paint. Mulligan kicks out to Denning at the left wing. No good for three. Rebound by Richmond. Richmond goes up. Gets denied, but regains possession. Dribbles out. Hartman settles it down near the Northridge logo. And pass over to Denning. Denning dribbles. Lets the Eagles offense set up as we're holding for one shot here with 16 seconds left. Coach Chow setting up a play to try to salvage some points here. Denning drives, kicks to Hartman. Hartman from top of the key, good.
It is, baby.
Three for Brady Hartman.
Good. That shot doesn't count.
That was huge right
Good.
there to keep us within striking distance. 16-5, end of the first.
I don't know when the last time you've seen this team. Well, this team's never scored 5 points in a quarter.
No. I think we put up, 64 versus Leo?
Yeah.
And high-scoring attack there versus a pretty good Leo defense.
We gave up 3 threes there. I mean, that's 9 points. And then, the big guy down low, we just haven't had an answer for him yet. I mean, that's another 6 points.
Definitely.
A couple free throws. I mean, we're in this basketball game.
We're right there.
I mean, there's a ton of basketball to play.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Dial something up here.
A lot of game left as Coach Schaus, Coach Radiker are meeting with their teams here at the end of the first quarter. We'll check in with some more underwriters. WJHS is brought to you by 9 Gigabyte Tech Computer Repair and Service Center. 9 Gigabyte offers small business IT services, all based on individual business needs. 9 Gigabyte Tech will help personal computers to laptops, tablets, and cell phone repair, including new device setup, password recovery or lockouts, virus removal, and more. 9 Gigabyte Tech Computer Repair and Service Center is online at 9gigabytetech.com or by phone at 260-209-4798. The possession arrow is with the Raiders, and we're ready to begin play here in the second quarter as the bell dings, and Hayden Johnson controls the ball, guarded by Marshall. Kicks it over to the left side to Bales. Back over to Springer, and Johnson holds the ball. Passes to Bales. Bales drives, kicks to Springer, and throws up a three from Johnson, and it's good. Everything they shoot seems to fall. 19-5. Stratton, Fuller brings the ball up, pass over to Marshall. Marshall spins, drives towards the basket. No good. Denning with the rebound. And it's good. Denning with a layup there. 19-7. Northridge moves fast, though. They get the ball back into their half-court set. And a missed three there from Mason Bales as Fuller rebounds. Throws it over to Marshall on the left side. Marshall drives his left hand. No good. Marshall and Springer get caught up.
Stay with us.
And the possession arrow is going to stay with us on a jump ball, correct. Radiker back in for the Raiders.
And some of these shots have got to fall eventually.
You would think. Eagles run a set play out of the inbound, and Max Mulligan gets the ball, drives, and misses. A shot from the elbow. And Northridge regains possession. Springer throws it up. Gets denied by Marshall in transition. Marshall throws it over to Fuller. Fuller, Euro step, and good. Finishes at the rim. Nice job there from Stratton. 19-9. Northridge moving quick again. Radiker controls the ball. Hands it over to Johnson in the corner, and a foul.
Reach on Owen there.
Yep. That'll be his first. Kaufman's going to grab Owen. And we have Scholl back in, Brady Scholl back in for the Raiders. So we're going to have to figure out how to stop him, because they're going to try to feed it to him as Radiker controls the ball at midcourt, near midcourt. Swings it over to Johnson. Johnson is going to feed Scholl in the paint, kick it back out to Radiker. Radiker misses a three in the short corner. And the inbound is by a rebound by Scholl, and he puts it back good. 2 points. 21-9. 6:05 left to play in the second. Fuller hands it off over to Mulligan. Mulligan back to Fuller in the corner as Hartman looks to drive. Throws up a shot, misses. And Northridge moving quick in transition as Bales throws it over to Johnson. And Johnson is fouled on a three-point attempt that is no good from the right wing. That's no good. Not what we needed. As Johnson's going to shoot three. Trainer Vandersaw checking into the broadcast. And the first is good. Up two more. And the second is good. Richmond checks back in as he will wrap up from the stripe here. Johnson hits the third. 24-9. Raiders lead. Kaufman controls the ball, brings it up, passes over to Fuller at the far elbow as
they called him for double dribble. That's not
they call a double dribble.
No, I mean that was.
I agree.
That was not even close to a double dribble.
That was a suspect call. As the Raiders have the ball, Radiker throws it over to Johnson near the stripe, feeds Scholl in the paint. Scholl with a rare miss as it hits the front of the rim, and Mulligan rebounds, brings it up, looks to drive, hands off to Kaufman near the far corner. Kaufman up top of the key, passes over to Hartman on the elbow. Hartman over to Kaufman in the close corner, and Northridge kicks the ball out of bounds, so the Eagles remain in possession. Looks like Gideon Campbell they say, is back in. I thought it was Campbell, but Campbell, as Hartman lobs it over to Mulligan at the key. Hands off to Kaufman. Kaufman throws it over to Richmond near the left wing. Hartman over at the right wing, drives, and is fouled on the floor by Hayden Johnson. Not a shooting foul. We're going to bring James Cranston back into the ball game as Coach Radiker sends him in. Hartman inbounds to Fuller quickly as Fuller throws up a shot from the block, and it's no good. Northridge moving fast again as Bales sprinting down the court, feeds James Cranston, and Scholl finishes after a Cranston miss. It's 26-9. The official just called over back.
And it's the right call, unfortunately.
It is. Things are just not going the Eagles' way here tonight.
We're just not sharp right now.
No.
And I mean, defensively we're okay, but we just keep giving up those threes. And offensively we're just not sharp.
Yeah. Just can't seem to get much to fall. Definitely pressing a little bit, it looks, and then looks like we have Campbell controls the ball as they throw it on the other side of the court, but it's not over and back as they looks like they drive there, and the Eagles foul. They foul Mason Bales as he drives to try to lay it up with his left hand. He's going to shoot two from the stripe. Bales makes the first, and Marshall is back in for Kaufman as the Eagles are trying to get something going here on the offensive end. Bales makes the second, 28-9, 4:19 left in the second quarter. Fuller brings it up near half court. Looks to his right, passes to Richmond. Pretty stifling defense here as they switch. Hartman controls the ball in the corner, back up to Richmond at the wing. Richmond moves to the top of the key, hands off to Marshall. Marshall looks to dribble to his right, spin move, drives, and is blocked by Northridge, but Richmond gets possession as Fuller drives and kicks to Hartman in the close corner, no good. And Northridge controls the basketball. Campbell passes over to Bales, and then back to Radiker, back to Campbell on the far wing. And Radiker gets the ball near the Northridge logo, hands off to Scholl. Scholl almost turns it over. Somehow magically finds the ball, feeds it to Cranston right in his hip pocket. Cranston lays it in. No contest. 30-9 as the Eagles need a timeout, full timeout. Not much to say.
No, we got aggressive right there, tried to get that 50-50 ball, and then Owen's guy just, as Owen was going for that, he back cut. Big guy got it, dumped it to him. Just an easy bucket.
Yep. They kind of lucked into that one. As you were saying, we were trying to be aggressive there and just didn't pay off right there. It looks like we might have a turnover. Try and run a transition, but it didn't work out that way.
Nope.
Timeout is at 3:24. As we said, 30-9 Raiders. WJHS is brought to you by Morse's Builders Mart, located at 516 East Van Buren Street in Columbia City, with locations in Huntington, Wabash, Warsaw, and Goshen. Online at morsesbuildersmart.com. Serving Northeast Indiana since 1871. WJHS is also brought to you in part by Surf Internet. Surf Internet is transforming the Great Lakes region by bringing high-speed internet to rural and undeserved areas. Faster and more reliable internet is now available to both residents and businesses in Columbia City. As the timeout has ended, we're ready to resume play. We have Scholl for the Raiders with 10 points, Bales with 9, and Hartman with 5 for the Eagles, your leading scorers there. As we're about halfway through the second, Eagles ball. Fuller collects it, runs the one, dribbles across the midcourt line, passes over to Denning. Denning to Mulligan as they swing it across all the way back to the corner where Owen is. Denning controls the ball on the far wing, drives, spins, throws it up. Didn't really have a handle as we turn it over yet again. And Northridge gets the ball as Radiker in transition over to Campbell. Campbell dishes it to Bales. Bales drives and lays it in. 32-9. Denning sets up, hands it off to Mulligan for 3 from the closest wing to us. No good. Eagles rebound the ball, get it back to Stratton. Stratton drives towards the rim. Good. Right at the volleyball line. 2 points. Radiker throws up a deep 3 from the wing and misses. Eagles have possession. Fuller looks to drive again and take the game over, and he's fouled. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. Somebody's got to do something here. I mean, let's see if we can get Matt going, if we can get Xaiden going. I mean,
definitely.
Really, nobody's going. So
unfortunately, that's the case.
Yeah, we got to see a couple go here.
Denning throws it in to Hartman at the block, and Hartman misses with the left hand, and the Raiders take over. We have Johnson near the key, puts some moves on, nothing really going, throws it over to the right side, over to Bales. Bales drives, misses, it's cleaned up by Scholl. Scholl misses, goes up for a second time, and it's fouled. Looks like Denning.
We're not going to out-jump a 6'6" guy.
Nope.
So until somebody gets a body on him, we're just going to watch him rebound and put back and rebound and put back.
Got to be physical.
Yeah, I mean.
We have not been thus far as Scholl, the stripe, makes the first. 33-11. It's not looking good for C-City. He'll collect himself. The second is no good. Bounces out. Denning collects the rebound on the far side, throws it over to Fuller on the close side, over to Kaufman on the wing. Kaufman back over to Fuller. Fuller throws it to Hartman in the far corner, and it's blocked, the 3. As Northridge running in transition yet again, Bales throws it across. Oh, a very nice pass there by Johnson to Scholl.
Yeah, a little razzle-dazzle there.
It was a little razzle-dazzle. Very smooth pass as Johnson went up like he was going to lay it in and basically rolled it over to Scholl. Eli Kreider has checked into the game, has the ball near the wing. Hands it over to Denning. Denning drives to his right and good, lays it in. Good possession there on offense for the Eagles as Northridge moving quick again. And their entire offense as of late is Scholl as they're able to get it to him yet again in the paint. 37-13, 45 seconds left. Denning is looking to drive again and turns it over to Scholl. Scholl on the close side. It looks like he throws it to Bales, and Bales turns it over. Fuller gets possession. Fuller goes up, no foul. And they're back in transition as Bales throws it to Springer. Springer lays it in from his right side easily. 39-13. 21 seconds.
Well, it's not very often, but I'll tell you what, our Columbia City Eagles sure look lost. I mean, they just look lost out there.
Yes. Like we about burned through, 3 timeouts? We call that timeout,
Yeah,
I'm guessing?
yeah.
So,
no, that was Northridge's timeout.
Northridge timeout, excuse me. Yeah, really no answers on either side of the ball here.
No.
It's going to be a 30-second timeout. Save the underwriters for halftime. The band is very loud.
Yeah,
it is definitely hard to hear in here.
They're rocking in here. It's like a cannon.
Yeah. And we're ready to begin play as checking in the baseline. Fuller passes over to Kaufman. Kaufman to Denning. Denning swings it over to Fuller at the far wing. Fuller drives to the block, and it's going to be
over and back.
Over and back, as Kreider can't get a handle on the Denning pass. Fuller pass, excuse me. And the Eagles turn it over. Turnover numbers are not looking good. And Northridge checks it in. Bales throws it in from the far sideline. Over to Radiker. Radiker drives, plants, collects himself, and shoots. 10-footer good. At the buzzer as well. 41-13 at the half.
It's a rough half for the Eagles there.
Yes, we definitely thought it'd be more competitive, but we'll see how it goes in the second half, I suspect.
I mean, see what adjustments we make and how we come out in the second half is really going to determine this game. And I mean, we're going to know in the first couple minutes of this third quarter coming up.
Right. Definitely a little bit defeated. Yeah, shell-shocked, defeated, whatever word you want to use.
Yeah, I mean, we look slow, we look tired, we just look lost out there.
Yeah, and definitely.
It's not something that you usually see from this Columbia City team, and
they've been battle tested.
Yeah, several times this season, and I mean, really. I mean, the Raiders, we've allowed 41 points, so a lot of those are just those threes, those rebound putbacks. And on the offensive end for us, man, we just cannot buy a bucket.
No.
Got some stats for us?
Yeah, we got some stats here, thanks to Coach Warner working stats tonight. Let's see here. All right, let's take a look at these. All right. For the Eagles, we have Fuller at 4 points in the first half. Denning also adds on 4. Hartman with 5. And that concludes the scoring for the Eagles with 13.
Wow.
Definitely not what you're going to see there. Let's look at Northridge scoring. Definitely going to be out the wazoo. Total points, Radiker with 5, Springer with 2, Bales with 11, Johnson with 6, Scholl with 15, and Cranston wraps up the score sheet with 2 for a total of 41. Should I read anything else?
No, I mean, they have shooting percentages on there.
Yeah, looks like
What's their three-point shooting percentage?
3-point shooting percentage. Let's see. Field goals attempt. Field goals. Sure, it's on here somewhere. Oh, here it is. 3-point field goal percentage. They're shooting 40% from 3.
Yeah,
pretty high, and 53% from the field.
Yeah, that's just incredible.
Yep, 7 for 9 free throws. Unfortunately, we're not shooting as well from the field. 6 for 28.
Yeah, 21%. 60,
21%.
What are we?
For 3, 16%. 1 for 6.
Paying these guys to clean up the floor when they're not going around at halftime.
Sorry, we got somebody talking to us right now. Chief Marshal's off the air for a second. He's back. All right. We're back. Went over some stats. They're not pretty, but...
No. I mean, there's nowhere but up for us in the second half. So yeah, we'll see what happens here in this third quarter, and hopefully we buckle down. And
Yep.
And,
we've had many games that have been a tale of two halves, and we'll see it take a mighty comeback, obviously. But obviously, no doubt the Eagles come out still playing hard with high effort.
Well, you can't count them out, right?
Can't ever count them out.
I mean, especially this basketball team with the buzzer beaters and the tight games. And,
Yeah.
Like, you know, they find a way to grind, and
They do.
you know, we'll see what happens in the second half. You know, or
Right.
can they buckle down and try to make this a basketball game?
Yes. Definitely shows your true colors when you hit adversity. So we'll see how this Eagle team responds. Hitting some adversity early in this game, 41-13 at the half here in Middlebury. Justin Daly alongside my partner, Brandon Marshall, live from Northridge Middle School, as we're going to read a couple underwriters here as we're swiftly moving through this list. WJHS is brought to you in part by EduStaff. There we go. We always need subs. Schools in your local community are experiencing a substitute shortage in local classrooms. EduStaff is seeking candidates for employment within partnering schools. More information can be found at edustaff.org. That's edustaff.org. Tonight's game is also brought to you by Moo Over Ice Cream Shop. Building flavors from scratch, Moo Over offers Rocky Road, toasted coconut, bourbon vanilla, coffee crunch, as well as nut-free and sugar-free flavors. Plus, the hand-built flavors change each week. Moo Over tailors to those who have either a sensitivity to dairy, food allergies, or are just taking a more healthy approach. Moo Over Ice Cream Shop, located right in downtown Columbia City and online.
Old Coach Thompson, he's keeping up with us.
T-Bird's checking in.
Yeah, he's checking in.
All right.
He's been babysitting us. So.
Yeah, he is. Jim Pope checking into the broadcast as well. Another legend, basketball coach, Coach Pope. Thanks for checking in. Yep, there's the T-Birds text. This is no dog and pony show. That is correct. Professional. T-Bird will be back in action before we know it, but we're filling in. I'm filling in.
Yeah.
Coach Marshall's pretty much always on the scene.
Oh, not always. Just when Curry can't be there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're both kind of filling in there.
Yeah, we're just filling in.
Yeah. Coach Warner helping us with the Wi-Fi setup, and thanks to Xaiden Mckinzie back at the station for getting us dialed in here, and all the other WJHS workers back home. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You know, Brady Schrader texted me about technical difficulties, but
yeah, it started. I mean, we're new at this. Right?
yeah,
like,
we're
in
new.
Middlebury. I mean,
right. We're in Middlebury.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's hard to get Wi-Fi in Middlebury.
yeah. I mean, the phone, just the LTE and whatnot, and it just wasn't quite working. So we tried to go with the school Wi-Fi, and that was not the move. But live and learn. So Xaiden told us what to do, and Wyatt figured it out. So we're good to go. It hasn't gone out. Knock on wood.
Northridge out of the locker room
Yes, they
early
are,
as expected.
Per usual. Not much to say there from the veteran coach, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let the foot off the gas pedal, I suspect. I would say a different vibe in the Columbia City locker room, most likely. Coach Joust is none too pleased, but find some solutions here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, like as a coach, like at this point, you just got to ask your guys right now, like, you know, buckle down and play, right? Like, play this game, make this a basketball game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go win this third and fourth quarter. If you do that, regardless what the outcome is, it's a non-conference game, right? It's a game to prepare us for sectionals. This game means nothing, really,
Compete.
in the grand scheme of things. So, you know, like, let's get you ready for sectionals. Can you come out and compete, right? Are you going to hang your heads, right? And are you going to pout, or are you going to come out and man up and play basketball?
Right.
So, you know, make this the second half. Go win this third and fourth quarter, right? And just understand that the first and second quarter didn't go your way, and you didn't play your best basketball, and, you know that we can rebound from these kind of things.
Right on.
You know,
I agree.
We're senior heavy, you know, with 4 senior starters. You know, so I mean, you got to think that we have some senior leadership there. That, you know, I'm sure they had some words in the locker room too, and, you know, get these guys going.
Some wise words, wisdom from Coach Marshall. He's been in the locker room many years as the Eagles make it back out onto the floor in their all-black uniforms tonight. Thunder Dan checking in to the broadcast table with the iPad. He loves having the stats, as he said.
Yeah.
And we're almost ready to get this third quarter underway.
It's nice to have real-time stats.
It is, yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah, I have it on the notepad here, so it's live updates, so. Very nice. Speaking, non-conference game, obviously. Sure everyone knows Columbia City wrapping up their conference play 6-1. Very impressive. First time since 2016, I'm sure. And the Eagles filled you in on all that, tied for first. And then Northridge, sat at 5-2, another impressive conference record, tied for second. So
both tough conferences.
Yeah, definitely. So I would definitely expect the Eagles to come out in the second half with some fire and intensity. Coach Schaus definitely a little animated in the huddle right as we are ready to start the third quarter. As the Eagles break down their huddle, and they are ready to roll. There's the buzzer.
And Northridge ball coming out.
Yep.
If they ever get out of that huddle.
Yep. Here to the close sideline. Got a lot to talk about, I suspect. Not sure what, but drawing up a play of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to look to get a quick bucket here if they can. Just to
start off hot.
Yeah.
As Hayden Johnson here close to us on the close sideline throws it into Radiker. As Fuller's pestering him. Radiker throws it over to Scholl. Scholl passes off to the left side to Bales. Good with the left hand finishes. And Hartman brings it up for the Eagles. Hartman hands off to Denning at the far elbow. Passes over to Fuller at the close wing. Mulligan spins back to Fuller. As they reverse it to Kaufman, to Hartman. Hartman drives, 10-footer good. 43-15. Northridge moving quick yet again. Radiker to the far wing. And Bales the top of the key, a three is good. As he stays hot. Fuller brings the ball up on the right side. Passes from wing to wing. Hartman with a nice move to his left. Then his right drives and finishes at the rim. Good with his left hand. Good answer there. As Bales drives into the block and then throws it across court to Scholl. Scholl drives into the paint, easily lays it in. Not much contest. And Denning to Fuller. Fuller throws it over the corner to Hartman as Hartman drives and is fouled.
Rare Raider foul there.
Rare Raider foul. There's alliteration.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, tongue twister it was. Denning handles the inbound into Mulligan as Mulligan throws it right back to Denning. Mulligan drives hard from the far wing. Nothing called on either side as the ball scoots out of bounds. Raider ball. Radiker taking it up on the far side. Throws it to Bales. Bales hands it back off to him. Bales drives hard, spins, and is fouled on the floor by Mulligan. Block. Radiker at the baseline to Scholl. Beyond the three-point arc is Johnson. Johnson hands to Bales. Bales throws it over to Radiker. Radiker to Scholl. Shakes and bakes. Scholl in. Good. Lays it in. 50-17. Eagles looking to move quick with a sense of urgency. Mulligan looks to shoot a corner three. Tries to kick it back up to the far wing. As the Eagles turn the ball over, it skips right by Hartman. And Marshall's back in the ball game for the Eagles. Raider basketball. Radiker running the one per usual. Dribbles a little bit near the volleyball line and feeds it to Scholl. Raiders almost turned the ball over, but somehow Hayden Johnson regains it on the ground and lays it in with his left hand for two. Fuller with a nice drive and passes over to Hartman. Good for two. Nice move there by Fuller to get the defender off them in a clean passing lane. 52-19. Radiker throws in to the block to Scholl. Back out to the corner to Springer. Back to Radiker. Back to Springer on the far side block. And it's no good. As he stumbles a little bit, the Eagles on the man advantage. Fuller with a corner three, no good. Back in transition are the Raiders. And a
tried to get a little too fancy.
Yeah, Johnson had a clear path to the lane and turned it over to Kaufman. Looks like Hartman pulls up from the far block, and it's good. 52-21 as we have a timeout. 30-second timeout. Raiders call that?
No, I think
Eagles.
we called that one.
We called the timeout. Let's do another. Go ahead. You're good. Do one underwriter real quick. Today's program is brought to you by attorneys at Myers, Hockmeyer, McNaghy, LLP, located across from the post office in Columbia City. They're online at 260-248-2224 and on the web at whitleylaw.com.
Yeah, I was just going to say that last possession that Northridge had, I really liked the way that Brady Hartman played the big guy in the post, like pushed him high, forced him out. Now when he turned and spun to shoot that little hook, all of a sudden it wasn't 3 foot, it's 6 foot. Now you get misses that way.
He's been good this year, sneaky
Yes.
good. Always puts up good numbers, it seems, both ends of the floor. As looks like the Eagles have set up a press. Makes sense, as Fuller was pestering Radiker before he crossed the midcourt line. Radiker throws up a three from the top of the key, no good. Richmond with the rebound. Over to Hartman. Hartman to Fuller on the far block. Good as he lays it in easily, uncontested. 52-23. Radiker from the close wing throws it to Scholl at the top of the key. Scholl hands off to Johnson. Johnson drives to the right hand, finishes the bucket. Good. 54-23. 4 minutes exactly left in the third. As Fuller throws to Kaufman. Kaufman looks inside in the paint to Richmond as the ball is kicked, and we pause. Mulligan back into the game for the Eagles. Inbound the ball, Hartman. Good. Another 10-footer there from Brady. Very nice. And a corner three from Campbell is no good on the far corner as Hartman collects the ball again. Throws up a floater, misses. Rebound Northridge. Nice play there by Mulligan as he swats it out of the Northridge player's hand, and we cannot finish. We've thrown up about 3 shots as Richmond kicks out long to Owen at the far wing, misses, and the ball is recovered by Northridge, and no call.
Gosh. Grabbed Landon and pulled him down by his arm right in front of his face.
Right in front of the official. Coach Schaus is honked off. He is going after that official, rightfully so. He's none too pleased. But it is Northridge ball nonetheless as Radiker inbounds the ball at the baseline. And we're back. Ball's over to Bales at the key. Bales into the corner, back in the far corner to Campbell. Back to Bales as he dribbles over to the wing Hands off to Cranston. Cranston to Bales. Radiker, as they're just basically chewing some clock here. Not really looking to shoot. They are driving and kicking. And Radiker throws up a three from the far wing, and it is good. 57-25. Fuller drives, spins, and is fouled. Springer commits the foul as Fuller's going to go to the stripe.
Like Denning and Kreider will check in.
Kreider getting some EP tonight.
I mean, you got to try.
Yeah, I mean,
gotta try
exactly.
something.
Yeah, yep. Why not? Fuller makes the first. Good to see him get some varsity action.
Yes.
It looks like he's going in for Fuller, so he's going to stay as Denning checks in. First was good. Second, rims out, and Northridge, 22 Bales rebounds. They are moving quick again as Campbell drives to his right side and finishes the rim. Fuller back over towards the close sideline, throws it in to Mulligan. Mulligan kicks out to Richmond at the wing, and it's kicked out of bounds by a Northridge defender. Kreider does check in now as we have a stoppage. Eagles remain in possession of the basketball. Mulligan and Denning have a quick chat, and Denning inbounds from the baseline. To the wing to Mulligan as Denning calls back for the ball. Mulligan drives, spins to his left, throws it up, and just rims out. Oh my. I don't know how he stopped himself there, but Mulligan playing some tight defense, does not run in the defender. Radiker drives from the right wing and is denied at the glass. Mulligan rebounds in transition. Picks up his dribble at the close wing, and Richmond is fouled in the corner by Cranston. It is a running clock here now, as fans are shouting to stop the clock, but it's running. We do have that rule as the third quarter ends harmlessly. 59-26 Raiders. We'll check in here with our underwriters. Got a lot of stoppages, it seems, so we're almost through the list. This year's Columbia City Yearbook is being put together now. Collect the memories of this keepsake. See yourself in the photo. For a limited time, order and get an early bird discount. Last year we ran out, so reach out to CCHS or the yearbook class now. Make sure to get those orders in now. Appreciate all the Eagle fans listening back home to the broadcast tonight. Thankful to be able to put it on for you. Despite the score, we appreciate you tuning in. Like we talked about, Hartman has been sneaky good tonight, 15. Northridge did outscore us 18-13 in the third quarter, as Coach Marshall alluded to. That's what we needed to do to respond there. Would have preferred to win the quarter, but definitely a much more competitive third quarter, back and forth. As we're back underway here in the barn, Denning has the ball, drives, and is fouled, and the basket is good and one. See if he can finish the old school three-point play. Denning's free throw is good, 59-29. Eagles cut the deficit to 30. Northridge controls the ball, passing back and forth outside the three-point arc as Johnson drives and is fouled by
Kreider.
Good call. And Johnson's going to go to the stripe. Shoot 2. Fuller waiting to check in. First is good. Stratton takes Richmond. Second is good as well, as Fuller collects the ball on the baseline, inbounds it to Mulligan on the far sideline, back to Fuller. Fuller drives to his right, hands off to Hartman at the wing. Feeds it in the paint to Denning. Denning finishes. Definitely a positive there. Good possession for the Eagles, 61-31, still 30-point deficit. And Northridge misses. Here's the chance for the Eagles to get a shutdown possession. Denning drives again to his right, misses. Fuller on the left side, rebounds, and throws it up, and it's good. 61-33. Northridge getting a little sloppy as they almost turn it over. Coach is yelling. He's honked off now. Have everybody honked off as Bales dribbles, hands off to Springer. Springer back to Bales. They're just playing catch at this point. 12. Cranston over to 22. Bales turns it over. Denning collects it. Passes to Hartman at the key. Hartman shakes and bakes, tries to move past his defender, can't. Picks up his dribble. Over to Mulligan on the far wing. On the block to Kreider. Kreider kicks out to Hartman at the close wing for 3, and it's good. Hartman with 18. As we're putting up some points now. And the Raiders, once again, playing keep away. As Cranston over to Bales. Bales pump fakes. Shakes and bakes. It's kind of trapped in the corner. Back to Campbell at the wing for 3, and it's good. 64-36. Kreider gets kind of stuck in the corner. Back to Fuller. Fuller drives to his right. Just misses. And a foul. They're calling that on Aiden Denning. Offensive foul. Kaufman going to check in. Looks like, I think Richmond just checked in, correct?
Yeah, Marshall, Richmond, Kaufman.
Yeah, 3. Forgot about Marshall. .456 left in the fourth. 64-36 Raiders. And yet again, Radiker takes the ball up, passes over to his left.
Just too easy.
To Cranston. Cranston hands it back off to Radiker. Radiker drives, and it's no good as Hartman collects it and stays hot as he hits a jump shot after spinning from the elbow. Hartman with 20, I believe. Night for him. As Radiker trying to choose some clock here. Looks to drive from the close wing. Decides not to. Throws it over to Johnson on the far wing. Johnson looks to choose some clock as well. Richmond moves up to guard him a little tighter as Cranston sets a screen. Yet Johnson keeps the ball. Dribbling back and forth, throws it over to Springer in the far corner. Back to Radiker at the key. Moves over to the far wing. Continuing to chew clock. Dribbles between his legs a couple times. Looks to drive to his right. Slips and falls. Somehow maintains possession as he tips it over to Cranston. As Cranston now turns it over. Hartman dribble drives. And no good. Richmond rebounds, throws it out to Marshall at the close wing, but Marshall drives, finishes right-handed, it's good. And we're going to stop play here for a second to get the subs in.
It's like Kobe Crawford in
Yes.
all game?
Kobe Crawford checking into the ball game.
64-40.
Yep. Definitely time to do that, no doubt. Get some time. Northridge has possession. We are going to press as Kaufman is on the other side of midcourt. But Johnston moves the ball onward and upward, kicks it over to Springer in the far corner. Over to Campbell at the top of the key as they're just playing catch, and back to the left side as Campbell dribbles over to the far side and turns it over. Marshall intercepts the pass and looks to finish at the rim. And they're going to wave off the basket.
Got him for a charge.
And they're going to call charge, yep.
A weak call.
Yep.
That was weak.
It was. It was.
He stepped right around him. The kid fell as he went past him.
Yep.
Joke call.
Yep.
But we've seen several of those tonight. So.
Yep. A little bit of embellishment, and a couple Raiders checking into the ball game, getting some guys some time, taking the starters out, as it's pretty much all over with shouting. As we have some new players checked in here for Northridge. Northridge maintains possession as they pass and reverse it. And it looks like Cranston drives, then kicks it back out to Schlauback, who just checked into the game, as they're just kind of holding the ball right now. Maddox delivers a pass cross court to Campbell. Schlauback on the far side, passes over back to Cranston, back to Schlauback.
Timeout to get the subs in.
Timeout, get subs in. Yep. I'll stop the clock. .129 left, 64-40, Northridge. Maddox on the sideline, closest to us. Inbounds to Schlauback as Schlauback dribbles over to the far wing. Passes it over to the opposite wing. Over to, oh, he's not on the roster. Okay, well, you'll have that in games like this. As 23, Luke Mann, who checked into the game, hits a short jumper. 66-40. Eagles have possession. Kreider throws up a three from the far wing, no good. Schlauback running the one. Passes back to Maddox. Back to Schlauback. Schlauback dribbles into the far corner. Back up to the far wing to Maddox. Opposite wing over to Miller. Number 30 controls the ball, drives the corner, passes. They reverse it. Schlauback looked to hit 14, did not, as they're just doing some clock here to finish out this game, holding the ball.
20 seconds left.
Yep. Looks like they're going to dribble it out. And the Raiders are going to go home with their 17th win of the season, as we are wrapping up the regular season here very quickly. Raiders hold the ball. Both teams retreat to their bench. And the buzzer goes off. Final score, Northridge 66, Columbia City 40.
Yeah, it's obviously definitely not the way that we wanted this game to go tonight. We had a super slow start. I mean, to start the game, our defense didn't look too bad. We couldn't buy a bucket. We couldn't buy a bucket in the first quarter. We couldn't buy one in the second quarter.
Right.
And we had several good looks. I mean, it's probably the worst shooting percentage that we've had all season long.
That was not going to get it done tonight.
No.
It's a good Northridge team.
I mean, they're a very good team. Again, three guys shooting right around that 40% mark at three. 6'6" guy, down low. The Scholl kid, I mean, he's just a true big. Rebounds, putbacks. They run transition super well. They're super fast. They're not hanging around after, on a missed bucket. They're sprinting down the floor, and just several times they called us searching for guys, and they made us pay tonight.
Yep, they definitely did.
So you learn from it, you move on, right?
That's all you can do.
Got to get ready for Concordia.
That's
Concordia
right.
next Friday, and
That'll be a home game,
it's a home game, senior night. Should be a good one there.
Yep, it stinks to lose, obviously, but as long as you learn from it,
we'll bounce back.
Yeah, bounce back. It's a very battle-tested team heading into the sectional, so you want to play quality opponents, and we definitely played one here tonight. It didn't go our way, but you got to learn from it, watch film, turn the page, and we'll be back in action soon. Definitely be fun to honor those seniors here.
Yeah.
As Concordia comes to town. That'll be good as well, as they've been a good crew for several years now.
Yeah, that'll be another really good basketball game. We had a chance to see them in the holiday tournament. Actually, I think we were up 15 or 17 right there at half, and kind of let that one slip away. So I'm sure Coach House and the guys want a little bit of revenge from that holiday tournament loss to them. So. Definitely
want a revenge game there. So we do have the stats, thanks to Coach Warner. As we're going to take a look at those real quick and then sign off here shortly. As I don't think we're obviously going to get Coach Schaus tonight.
Yeah,
understandably so.
That. Yeah.
And T-Bird's not here anyway. So look at the stats here for the Eagles. On the score sheet, we have Fuller put up 9. Denning also with 9 as we heated up there in the fourth a little bit. Brady Hartman, like I was talking about, finished with 20. Impressive there. Marshall tacks on 2 for a total of 40 points. 6-28 from the field. Obviously not ideal, 21%. 3-point, 1 for 6. Those weren't falling, so we kind of quit shooting them. 16% from 3. For the Northridge Raiders, moving on to 17-4. Eagles on to 15-7. Both respectable records. Northridge, Radiker finished with 8. Springer with 2. Bales put up 16. Pretty impressive there. Johnson 12. Scholl 19. No surprise there. Campbell added 5. Cranston 2. And Mann added 2 for a total of 66. 15-28 from the field, shooting 53%. Didn't shoot any more threes, 40% there. And 7 for 9 from the stripe. So that's going to about wrap it up here.
Yeah, I don't think
Middlebury, Indiana. Not much else to say. I think we've pretty much said it all. So definitely glad they let us broadcast this game, though. Thankful for that. We definitely still had fun broadcasting out to all you fans out there that didn't make the trip. So we're happy to do that. Glad to have you along with us listening tonight.
Yeah,
so,
we did the best we could do without the legend. So.
That's right. Yeah, we filled in for him. So, yeah, you definitely cannot fill his shoes. We did the best we could, and appreciate you listening, like I said. So this is Justin Daly and Brandon Marshall signing off here, telling you the final score one last time. Northridge Raiders 66, Columbia City 40. As we are signing off here from Middlebury, Indiana and Northridge Middle School. Thanks again for tuning in. Good night, everybody.